Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the newly revamped Philly AM Sports here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. I'm Big Al. Right next to me is my main man, Mike Laro, bringing the AM together in your Sunday mornings. A lot of Philly sports to talk about, but of course, the big topic today. You can't look past it. And part of it's going to be my question to you, Mike. The first question to start the day off. And I'm going to say good morning to you, sir.
Oh, morning. Morning.
Eagles, Dallas. Mike, does it have this? I feel like we've talked about this before in the last year or two doing shows ago. Does it have the same zing that Eagles, Dallas always brought to you?
No, it really doesn't. And the reason is I think it's because Dallas has had a bad, kind of an off year. They've been really good offensively, not good defensively. And they just haven't been a good football team. And, I think that kind of takes away from the rivalry a little bit. I always stated I love when the Eagles and the Cowboys are both good. I feel like it brings out the ire in both fan bases. I will say this though, I will give Cowboy fans a little bit. They've been really chirping a lot this week about how they feel the Cowboys are going to take the belts to ass to the Birds, and I just don't see it, man. I really don't. And it's not. I'm just looking at how this defense is playing and looking at the two offenses that they've played the last 2 weeks and what they were able to do against those two offenses. And I'm sorry, like I feel like Detroit's got just as many weapons as the Cowboys does, and I think they're better at running back. I mean, Gibbs had a lot of yards catching and running last week, but for the most part, man, they were just one. They were one play from really only having a field goal. So I don't know. I'm gonna be packed to the TV today, just like you are, Al, watching this game because I have the post game today. So
Absolutely. So that means he's getting you started, and he's going to take you over too at the end. In pure wrestling fashion, right? Getting you over at the end there.
yeah.
But here's my thing: is I'm going to stoke the flames a little bit of. So I hope Dallas fans are watching. I hope if you're an Eagles fan watching, and you know a Dallas fan out there, send them this link. Let's talk about this because I'm going to try to be analytical. I'm really going to try to be analytical. I'm going to try not to have my green glasses on as my homer. What was the original name of the show? Two homers and without a clue. Wasn't that what Matty B proposed to this name of the show?
Listen, Matty
well,
B sits in front of a mirror and argues with himself. So
he does. But come on, Dallas. I mean, come on. Listen, you got a little oomph going in your direction. You put the belt to ass to the Raiders. Okay,
it's the Raiders.
33-16 against the Raiders, but you're 4-5-1. Let's walk through this so far. Okay, real quick with me, Mike. Just they had to take us first game of the season, which is tough. Divisional game coming off the Super Bowl, which actually probably led in their, kind of lended their favor. Was a close game, closer than it should have been. Gave Dallas that kind of.
Listen, I feel a little differently. I felt Dallas should have won the game. I mean,
they could have won the game.
If we're taking our green colored glasses off, there were about 3 CD drops from actually beating the Eagles opening night and ruining our banner.
This is to my point. Here's the thing: is winners win, losers lose. Just here, follow me on this for a second, right? Okay. All right. So they won against the Giants week 2. They lost against, which is turning out to be right now good Bears, which we're going to talk about them a little bit too. Green Bay, they tied in a 40-40 game. You score 40 points and you tie. I'm throwing it out there. Let's keep going. The Jets, they won. Okay. Carolina Panthers, they lost. Washington Commanders, they beat. Broncos, they lost. Cardinals, they lost. Their offense is well known for just being really good. Scored 17 points against the Cardinals defense that I'm not going to hate on, but I'm not going to love on either. And then you came and you beat the Raiders 33-16.
I'll tell you what, I watched.
Hold on one second. Where should I, if I'm a Dallas fan, be not delusional right this moment?
Just the fact of you guys losing to them losing to. I'm not even gonna say Carolina because Carolina's kind of feisty this year, but and so were the Bears. The Bears are actually leading their division now. So
Cardinals are probably the biggest
the Car-
suspect loss
yeah,
they've
but
had.
you know what though? There was a lot of familiarity with that Cardinals team because you got to remember look how many ex-Eagles are on that team.
Mhm.
So again, Josh Sweat had a big night that night, had 2.5 sacks, and that's going to be. This is what I'm saying. Last Monday, a week ago Monday, or yeah, this past Monday, this was the first time that Dallas's offensive line has been back together since the beginning of the season. Okay, they've been shuffling people in and out. My whole thing is, yeah, they've been doing that, but I look at it like this. The Eagles pretty much, no, neither defense was stopping those teams in week one. Neither defense. It really wasn't. It was whoever was going to have the ball last in that game was going to win that game. And unfortunately, we had lightning in the area, which postponed the game for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
But here's the thing: there's not going to be no lightning postponed at this time. And guess what? There's not going to be Jalen Carter doing something stupid in the beginning of the game either.
that's on my not keys to the game, but stories within inside the story. Jalen Carter, is he after the kind of game him and Jordan Davis have been playing, batting balls down like it's a volleyball match? Is there going to be a little of that extra oomph into it?
Oh, and well, you saw what was his Tyler Booker, the tackle, the rookie tackle for the Cowboys or guard,
Mhm.
whatever it is he plays. He was running his mouth about shutting Jalen Carter down and now how people are scared when they get in front of him. And Jalen Carter said, "I don't fear any man." So, he goes, "I guess." So there's been a little bit of trash talking going back and forth. Um, you
I
know,
think there always will be, even when one team's bad and the other team's not. Like take for instance, at one point the Giants were a very viable, you know, opponent against us when they were playing really well back. Yet they fell off. Like everybody kind of started feeling bad for the Giants because for very long time, kind of like the Commanders were for many years, fell off. Like they were just no bueno, and nobody wanted. You can't feel bad when you beat on them. Now you got three teams in the division that kind of fall into that category right now.
yeah, I mean
Like,
Dallas has a chance to right their ship. I mean, if they win today, that can springboard them. I just don't know how. Like we were talking before we came on, like of all the teams that they still got to play left. I mean, they got a hell of a little out of the next like 5 weeks. I think they got a hell of a gauntlet.
mm-hmm.
To really kind of go. I mean, I know they got the Birds, Kansas City, and then they're
On a
at the
short week, by the way,
what's that on a short week? They
on a
come, they
short week.
stay. Yeah, but they stay home. They play Kansas City, and Kansas City's got a rough matchup today too. They play the Colts.
Well,
So
Kansas City also needs to win there. I mean, this is the first time at this stage of the season that they're looking out. They're looking into the playoff picture. They're not looking at everybody else trying to get back in there with them.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that the Chiefs are out of the playoffs at this moment in time, but they're not used to being here.
no, they're
So,
not, and that's what I'm saying. And then I think one of their games on there, they got to go to Minnesota.
mhm,
So to me, from what I see, is like Dallas when they play at home, they look like gangbusters at home. It's just when they go on the road. When they
mhm.
go on the road, it seems like it falls apart for them. They lost at Carolina. They lost at Chicago. So I'm
Well, that's
taking that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Green Bay was the tie. That was at home.
That was at home.
Yeah.
And I think they got to go to Detroit. So I think the Minnesota game might be there, might be in Dallas because they were already at Chicago, and
Well, they've had 4 home games so far. Today will be their 5th home game this season. They got a lot of home games coming up. They play us at home. They play the Chiefs at home. They play the Vikings. They play the Chargers at home. And then they're on the road
road, right?
against the Commanders and the Giants, who at that point might be looking just for keeping them out of the playoffs or anything if they have. I mean, that's the playoff picture is there. Well, and we were going to touch on that. Mikey's going to touch on that at one pit. But real quick, I want to hit a couple of these comments here. Nooms is saying he's saying 19-17, and I don't know who wins this game. I sure hope not. I really don't want to like. It'll be like week one again. I understand this is a divisional matchup, and those can go any way. So I always take that credence with these games. I mean, I honestly think that's what Dallas is looking at. They're kind of coming off a nice big win after the bye, and it's a divisional matchup. And if they beat the Eagles in a divisional matchup, it gives them life. It does. It absolutely does give them life. I mean, they'll be just a shade over 500 at 5-5-1, but this division's weak. The NFC from a playoff picture is kind of wide open in some ways. It's not like the AFC picture right now is. There's a lot more two loss teams out there at this point in the AFC than there is the NFC. And Nooms, I'm going to get to your Flyers comment in a second, but I want to jump here real quick because we are going to touch on that. I think we blow out the Cowboys 35-17. That's Adam. Adam, I'm trying. I see these glasses are kind of yellow tinted. They're my blue light glasses. I'm trying not to turn them green. But I believe with your sake, listen, we all know, and we're going to talk about this in a moment, the A.J. Brown stuff. One thing I didn't like what I saw with the Lions game is I really felt they were force-feeding the crap out of him, like trying to feed his ego instead of feeding the win on the team. And that's something me and you're going to touch on at one point. I kind of lean towards Adam, maybe not 35-17, but I could see a 28-17, 24-17, which I still think will be too close. Unless, they let him give up a couple gimmies at the end of the game. I really don't think this should, and it shouldn't be, but it could be because it is a Dallas Eagles rivalry matchup in Dallas, which I'll give you the stats right now. Here's some fuel for the Eagles, right? Dak's 160 yards away from passing Tony Romo. In most games, any starting quarterback should hit 160 yards, even on your worst game, right? I mean, except for us last week. I mean, I think I don't think Jalen didn't hit
135 last week.
So it'd be good if we can keep him to that. So he has to wait a whole other week to go up against the Chiefs to do that. They're 6-1 against us in Dallas in Dak's career. It's a good stat to have. And Dak's 21-2 at home versus divisional rivals in his career. So the numbers are definitely in his favor, which kind of probably leads to the credence to what Nooms is saying up here and what you're saying. And it's really hard for me to just, I don't know. I'm just trying I really am not trying to look past this team, but and I guess the other favor, is the matchup. We just talked about the gauntlet. Philly, KC, the Lions. We just came off of our gauntlet.
Our second gauntlet.
Yeah.
The second one.
We just came off of it. Now, not offensively great, but defensively just locked in. And if this defense plays the way it's been playing, I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I mean, I really hope the offense can score some points. That would be great. And I honestly think this, if done right, this could be kind of the Eagles' offense, kind of like breakout game, if you want to call it that, if they do it right. Because we also have a short week, one extra day than because we have the Bears, who are right now they're 7-3, I believe. So
7-3, yeah.
So
and they're the third seed in the NFC right now.
Yeah, so that's a big matchup, especially if you're trying to keep keeping pace for first place, which at this point is a very reachable goal for the Eagles. I mean, winning the division at this point is, I'm not saying locked up, but you would have to go on some sort. I think the Eagles have to go on a massive 2023 losing streak type situation, and Dallas would have to go on the adverse winning streak to keep up with it. Newman's saying the average of when you're home and have to win, you usually do keep smacking me in the face. Keep smacking me in the face. Okay, that's what he's saying. It's a must-win game for Dallas. It's not that for the Eagles. Eagles coming off a gauntlet. I can see where trap game falls into this. I can smell what you guys are cooking here, to steal the Rock's term here, but I think Eagles get up for this. And now it's funny I put it this way, but having Brandon Graham back in the locker room will remind this young squad of the Eagles Dallas hatred. Because remember, we're one of the youngest teams in the league. And during their tenure here with Philadelphia, they haven't had that same Dallas Eagles rivalry that other players have. Between Lane and Brandon, I think it's going to be their job to remind them how much this means to the franchises and how much it means to the fans.
Yeah, and the way I'm looking at this game, um, now is is Cam Jurgens going to play because he was gearing towards playing today. So we'll find out with the inactives a little later. A little later on whether he's going to play or not. But he was leaning towards playing this game. So if they're only out Lane, I think that bodes well. Now I will say this for the Cowboys.
Is also the question. I mean, if you go by the Friday injury report, which I tend to lean on more, we all know Lane's out. Good news is Lane is not a surgery type Liz Frank, which is good. So he could be back early as 4 weeks. But right now, your Cam Jurgens with his concussion was a full participant, still in the questionable status as of Friday. I wonder if they're going to do what they did last week, and start him and see how he does. But if there's any issues, they'll hold him back.
Yeah, and like I said, going towards this now, Dallas did made two low key really good acquisitions at the trade deadline. Getting Quentin Williams from the Jets, I think, is going to help solidify that middle for the Cowboys because now you have Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark playing there, which is a very formidable duo. And they also went and got Logan Wilson, who is a beast at linebacker. He can go sideline to sideline. So I think that's going to help them. Plus, they're getting some guys back, too. They got Overshown back, which that kid, he's basically an outside linebacker who rushes the passer. So to me, honestly, tonight, when we watch this game, I'm sorry, but there's got to be some Jalen Hurts design runs. Like you have to.
I think you're going to – I've kind of bought into the Mike that they were holding him back a little bit purposefully from doing that. And I think we saw against Lions when they had a little success, you're going to see a lot more design runs, and they're going to have to spy and watch Jalen a little bit more than people have had to.
I think they're also going to break out a lot more of the RPO game too as we go forward too. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of the RPO game because we really haven't seen it this year. If you really look at it, it's been Jalen in the shotgun, Jalen under center. But hasn't been no RPO at all. You know what I mean? Like there was no threat. Like he was trying to, stay in the pocket. And I don't know if that's, like I'm sorry, but I've been, we've been hearing the rumblings all week about Jalen changing plays, force feeding AJ, with just some of the comments that were going on. And listen, there's just certain people sick of Jalen Hurts in the building, Again, I know winning kind of masks all that, but somewhere down the line, I think the reason why Brandon Graham came back out of retirement was to help get that locker room in order.
There's definitely some things, like I said, we're going to touch on it. I'm going to hit a couple of these. Miss Aveline 6 is saying, go Birds, absolutely. Doughboy Ego checking in. Need to see Jalen Hurts and our offensive line play at our standards today, but we Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat LA.
That's not happening. That's not happening. There's no way in hell Tampa's going into LA and beating the Rams.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game.
I think that's good. I think the Eagles Cowboys and that Rams Buccaneers game is probably going to be the two best games of the day.
Games to watch, absolutely. I don't care if you're a fan of either team or any of the teams or not. That's a game to watch if you're just a fan of the game of football.
It will impact it will have an impact on this. If the Buccaneers lose this game, guess who slides into first place in the NFC South?
Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carolina will then they're 6-5 right now. The Bucs only have a half game lead.
Are they home or away, the Bucs?
They are in LA.
Okay. Well, it's not like it's a home field advantage in my eyes, but I got you. Miss Evelyn again. All I want for Christmas is home field advantage and Lane Johnson back. That would be a great Christmas present, Miss Evelyn. I will agree with you 110%. And all intents and purposes, they could have it locked up by then. All intents and purposes, both things could come true at then. It's a very reasonable, achievable Christmas goal. What do you think, Mikey?
I think they could. But it all depends on really what you want to do, too. Like, if they want that bye week, which I feel like they would deserve, I would play them really up until I would make sure that you would have no way of losing that, because if you're looking at teams like the Rams and Seattle, like they have, I believe there's like a round robin in the last couple weeks in the season. Let me take a look at the Rams real quick. I just want to see their scheduling, because if I remember correctly, uh, yeah, their next schedule, they got the Bucks this week. Then the Rams go to Carolina to play the Panthers next week. They have the Cardinals. Let me see. They still got to go to play. Their next three games are basically it is what is it? Tampa, Carolina, Arizona. Then they have Detroit and Seattle week 15, 16, and then they finish up with the Falcons on week 17. So they got a couple battles coming ahead of them here, starting tonight with Tampa. Then they got to go cross country, play an early game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That game's at 1:00. Okay. And then they have Arizona. They got to go to Arizona to play them. And then right after that, they literally got to play Carolina, Arizona, Detroit, and Seattle. And they're on the road at Seattle. Detroit goes there and plays them. Dude, take the over in that Detroit game. Whatever the over is going to be in that Detroit game, take the over, because I think that's going to be a
Heard it
shootout.
first. Like you pick it out right now. Noom said, yet the Cowboys could win the next two games, and I still wouldn't believe in them. Two teams in tough spots of the schedule, but you know how the Cowboys fans think. No, listen, in Nooms, in all, if you reverse the roles, Eagles come out in kind of a flat, barely 500 at this point, and you beat a really good Dallas team if they were at the time, and a really good Chiefs team, which they're not right now. They're kind of pedestrian. And Dallas and the Chiefs are kind of in the same predicament in some ways, though the Chiefs are much, much more vaulted as of the last decade or 20 than the Eagles have been. I mean, the Cowboys have been, but they're in the same way. They're not playing up to the standard that they think they should be playing at, with the talent that they have shows that they should be playing at, and they're both very kind of mediocre-ish. So those teams need to Dallas. That Dallas Chiefs game is a must-win game no matter what, especially if they win or lose today. That Dallas Chiefs game is a very must-win game for Dallas, and that Chiefs game is a must-win for the Chiefs if they want to stay viable in the AFC hunt. But I get his point here. Doughboy says offense is going to get it together because we have bad teams to play. Doughboy, I agree with you to a point, but
they don't play bad teams in the postseason. You're going up against the best of the best. So I think this schedule, Al, has really, really helped the Eagles. I really do. Yeah, we may have suffered throughout the season.
I'll suffer at 8-2.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying is, you take a look. They played Dallas already. They've played the Rams already. They've played Green Bay already. They've played Denver already. Now Denver was a loss, but again, it was still a close game. But it's not like Denver came in here and put up 60 points on the Eagles. It was a close game. The Eagles actually blew that game.
Well, actually, if you think of it this way, you finished your division games against Dallas today. You finished your division games against the Giants already. You played the Chiefs. You played the Rams. You played Tampa. You played the Broncos. You played Green Bay. You played Detroit. So
all these teams and
you're still 8-2, even though there is reasonable, not reasonable, even though there is viable deficits on this team, especially from either a locker room or offensive locker room standpoint. So I know what Doughboy's saying here, and I get it, but it's got to be more than bad teams. They got to have to kind of reinvent themselves, which a team can do at this moment. Again, I said this after last game. I'm going to say it again. They really have to start letting Jalen be Jalen a little bit, and make them have to spy Jalen, make them have to respect his run, because then Saquon will get his there. Noom saying Cowboys solidify the middle. I guess he meant did solidify the middle, but chemistry still needs to be built. This is true. Miss Aveline says, I'm a nurse. Okay, when Lane comes back, but they need to have a talk and plans for these rampantly injured older players, Lane, Cam, Landon. There has to be passing the baton soon. If not, it fails them. So first part, I agree with a lot what you say here, Miss Aveline, but Number one, Lane is, yes, he's one of the older ones, and I believe the right tackle of the future is coming the first pick of the draft, or something.
We already have him.
You're saying Fred?
No? Well, Fred for now, but Hinton. Hinton. I'm telling you.
They have time to say. But if they don't feel that way, it will be the first thing in the draft. Offensive line will be the first thing in the draft this year. You can bank on that. Now, Cam and Landon are not old, but Landon had come in here. Remember when Landon was picked in the second round? He was supposed to be a first-round pick, but he had like 2 knee surgeries or 3 knee surgeries already by the time he got here. I was very high on that pick. A lot of people got on my case about loving the Landon pick because of the injuries. I saw Landon just fitting into the Eagles locker room, his abilities, all that kind of stuff just translating. And for most part, the injuries have been good. But listen, you're an O-line who's been doing this is part of the job of the O-line. And also, we've revolutionized a thing called the tush push, which puts these guys, I mean, injuries are there to have. I mean, it's going to happen. So I agree with you. I think O-line will definitely be tackled in the draft. But Lane and Cam and Landon are not old.
Nah, you figure Cam just took over 2 years ago for Kelsey. So, But I like this one right here by Doughboy Eagle. It says, I want to see Cameron Latou out there on offense to block and open up the running lanes, but I want to see Tank Bigsby get more touches. You might see Tank Bigsby get more touches. And to be honest with you, this is where I feel like if the Eagles can lock up their division, this is where you give guys like Tank Bigsby, Latou, Tanner McKee, you give them chances to go play. You really do. For me, that's what I want. That's what I would want, because, again, if you're looking at this, we thought the end of the year was going to be this crazy scenario of, 3 tough games. After watching those 2 teams play, like, I'm sorry, I don't fear the Buffalo Bills at all. I do not fear them, not one bit. They do have a home run hitter in James Cook, but enough with the Josh Allen love. Give me a friggin' break with that.
Is Brandon Cook available? Maybe.
Give me a break with the Josh Allen love. I don't want to hear. Yes, he won MVP last year, and he had a great year last year. I'll
never get it. I'll never get why they love on him so much, and
they don't give him the same. This dude got sacked 8 times. 8 times. He's supposed to be a mobile quarterback. How do you get sacked 8 times? And
because he does a lot of things that Jalen used to do wrong that people get on his case about: holding the ball too long, scrambling around, throwing hero ball, and yet he does not get the same hate, which we're going to touch on in a minute because I want to get everybody's opinion as we're coming in here. And it says, Miss Eveline, like the video, thank you very much. If you have not hit the like button, please do so. It does help guys like us who put our time and effort into this. Subscribe to It's a Wrap Sports Network.
And I want to Doughboy this message right here. He said the game is in Tampa. It is Doughboy. I'm just going to let you know the game's not in Tampa. The game is in LA. It's not in Tampa. It is a 8:20 start. Tampa is the road team. I just looked on NFL.com just to double check, and it literally has Tampa at. So that game's in. They're in SoFi. So again, I don't see Baker going there, and I just feel like that. I think I got a feeling Carolina after Monday night might be in first place.
That'd be crazy. Adam saying defense has to worry about Lamb, Ferguson, and Turbin again, but they've also gone up against Aron right recently. They've gone up against Watson recently. I don't know. I still can't. I shouldn't be as confident as I am. I really shouldn't be. Miss Evelyn, I feel KP and Nick hold Jalen back with these runs on purpose, more to save their jobs, to keep Jalen healthy, sadly. I'm going to agree with parts of it. I really think they have not held him back, but purposely kept him from running the ball for health reasons. I don't know if it's much about saving their jobs, but I think they're about they know how important Jalen can be, and we've seen him go into, playoff mode, and he is that kind of player. So I don't disagree with the thought process, but I think they have to at this week 12 in the NFL, they got to start taking those the chains off him and let him run around a little bit more. Nooms is saying things could go real south fast on offense today. If they come out and have a couple 3-and-outs, 2 3-and-outs, two or three 3-and-outs, yeah, the boo birds would fly from your couch as well as in the stadium. But like the Rams game, I can become pretty fast as well. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm looking at it like this. To me now over these last couple of years, it seems like every time this offense gets questioned, they go out and they perform. So, you know, do they? The only one that they didn't really perform in really was last week. It was more of a defensive thing, but there was questions going into that Minnesota game. How would he fare against the blitz? He went out and threw the ball. So again, I don't know. We're going to have to just wait and see. Like if they come out, I think they should try to establish the run. I think they can run because I don't like Dallas's ends at all. I mean, even with Overshown, who they can get to play, and they have the young kid, Rezaraku, okay, from BC. He's going to be good, but I mean, they got guys like Javion Clowney and Fowler, Dante Fowler.
That's right. Yeah, Clowney back against the Eagles again too. That'll be another. That's another kind of minor subplot if you want to throw that in there.
Well, I mean, if he lands on Hurts and knocks Hurt out of the game,
yeah. We hope that's not it. She's also saying the problem is just when you think you climbed the hardest part of the schedule, you are susceptible to get sloppy. Birds can't do that. Stay locked in. No, absolutely. If this Birds team stays locked in for the rest of the season the way they've been playing, they shouldn't lose more than maybe one other game at most. They shouldn't. They could for all intents and purposes, win out. But I mean, I'm being realistic. Doughboy, Dallas is not good to beat Kansas City or Detroit. I think they might lose against Philly today. Dallas secondary linebacker position isn't that good. And that's also to the feather in the cap for Dallas today, I guess. Backwards, like, do they put all the mustard on this hot dog today? Do they put all their heart and blood and sweat and tears into this game?
Oh, it. The Super Bowl champs are coming to town. So, all the bells and whistles are going to be out. You're going to see them, they may come out, you're going to hear Dak go, here we go, 500 times today. Mm-hmm. They're going to be out there. Jerry wants to parade because the champs are coming to town. So the thing is, if I'm the Eagles, honestly, right now, is they're going to try somewhat to establish somewhat of a running game with Javonte Williams. You cut that down. But today they have to get to Dak Prescott. That's the only thing that I've seen when they are able to get to Dak Prescott and make his life miserable. Dak does not have great games. Like, has he lit the Eagles up in the past? Yeah, in Dallas. But if you look at, it's usually the second time they see him, they usually are. It's usually a better second game than usually the first game. The first game, is usually Dak going off. Second game, if you look historically, second games, the Eagles were able to kind of limit him a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying that they've won every time because he's only lost once to the Eagles at Texas, and that was to Carson Wentz, believe it or not. Year 2017, Eagles went in there and blew them out 37-9. The Eagles got to make a statement today, and if I'm the Eagles, Dallas Goedert's going to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Goedert got to eat. He got to eat today.
I'm going to tell you right now, here's Al's keys to the game. It's where it's going to be won is at the offensive line. Whoever's offensive line shows up best today will win this game. Now, the Dallas offensive line has a much bigger hill to climb, but Dallas's D line, as you noted earlier, has gotten significantly better, and as they blitz packages could also, I can see them setting all out blitzes just to put the pressure on Jalen. You saw it against Detroit. That's what Detroit did. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas has just watched that game film and see what do they do here. We're going to try to do the same. Now listen, they have Aiden Hutchinson. There's a lot of other, but don't forget they shut down Aiden Hutchinson after the beginning of the game. How many times did you hear the name Aiden Hutchinson?
You didn't.
No.
And I'll tell you what,
a really good job against him. Jordan Mailata, who's been a little susceptible this year, had a really good game against Aiden Hutchinson. So there's all those points to look at.
Yeah, and you know what? This is where the Eagles got to. If the Eagles are going to win this game, they got to attack the not the middle of that Dallas defensive line. They got to attack. Good morning, Mickey. They got to attack the edges. That's where they got to attack. You got to get Clowney, you're attacking him on there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see them bring back a reverse or those jet sweeps to Schmitty this week. Don't be surprised to see that. Okay. Another thing I would love to see too is
the screen bubble.
You just read
yep.
my. Yeah. Get Saquon Barkley out in the open. If they're going to come in, dump it over their heads. I like their linebackers. I like Wilson. I like the kid Murray that went to Oklahoma, who's now there. Kenneth Murray. I kind of like them, but you know what? They over pursue. So I like to see them hit with a lot of counters. Something to start breaking these guys out. And I think that eventually will open up the pass game. I like our wide receivers against their DBs. I really do. You got a kid who's only making his second career start. He's probably going to be matched up on Devontae Smith because you're going to have what the hell's the other guy's name? Well, anyway, their star defensive back is going to be on AJ. Look for Jahan Dotson too in this game. Either Jahan Dotson or Goddard. You know what I mean? Look for them too in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen Jahan Dotson get a couple balls thrown at his way today.
Right. I believe they are keeping Jalen Hurts from running the ball, and they don't want him to get hurt. And I'm not just talking about Jalen doing like, oh, here's the play. Oh, I'm going to scramble and run for it. That's fine. I'm really talking about designed Jalen plays. You see that. It happened when you're not spying Jalen, and we saw a little bit in the last game, he was able to get on his horse and run for 10, 12, 13 yards. And there was a couple design plays they did, and then they got away from it. And I don't understand as much as why they do it outside of preservation. They have opened up the playbook and let Jalen loose and do more up-tempo offense to keep the defense on their heels. I agree with you. They did that a little bit last week when the bit of success that they had on offense came during up-tempo. Miss Aveline saying the Casino Boys, Lamb and Pickens need to underperform today. Well, that would be a huge positive. Defensive line, D-line, turnover battle, red zone efficiency are my keys. Well, let's go through this. Defense is in the favor of the Eagles. D-line is way in the favor of the Eagles, and turnover battle is in the favor of the Eagles. And the red zone efficiency, one of the best reds, because here are all the bad offensive categories that the Eagles have. And I kind of did this with I remember talking to Matty B, who gave me. It's going to lead me into my other conversation. A kind of Cam Newton-y kind of conversation after the post game I jumped on against with him with the Lions. They're bottom offensive categories in somewhere, except for two major ones: turnover battle and red zone efficiency. They're top in the league.
Yeah, the Eagles only have four. They only have 4 turnovers all year.
Yeah, 2 of them from Jalen, the rest of them from 2 other ways. One of them came in the Detroit game. But my point is, Miss Aveline, if we hit her keys, the Eagles have the best opportunity to hit all those keys of the game right there. All plays in the favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. So hopefully that's correct. And real quick, guys, for those who are joining, and thank you for getting up early, Philly AM Sports with Al and Mike is, we're here to bring you in Sundays. We're going to talk a little bit more than Eagles today, but not too much. You got us for another 20 to 30 minutes. Please like and subscribe as much as you can. It helps. Share with your friends. We really enjoy talking. You guys are bringing some great conversational points. I'm really enjoying it. If you guys can hit that subscribe button, that means the world to guys like me and Mike. And Maddie won't hit us.
Yes, he's behind us with a belt.
Yeah, we have these green screens because he said he doesn't want people seeing it. And I understand. But let's look at what's going on for those who are enjoying the It's a Wrap Sports Network today. Let's look at the rest of the day. Right now, as you know, Philly AM Sports is going on. And then right after, or they've already started, Still City pregame show for all you Pittsburgh fans. The post-game show after the Steelers game. The post-game Eagles-Cowboys show with our boy Mikey Laro. So if you had enough Mikey today, you get a little taste of more of the Mikey Laro. And then the final word from God himself, Matty B, coming down from the mountain on Sundays, holding 10 commandments. I want to know, do you know what we really do? I want Matty B's 10 commandments of being a Philly sports fan. I want to see that. Matty, I gave you something to do. and then I want to be able to read them on next week's show. So for those who are new to the It's a Wrap Sports Network, you can see some of the ridiculousness known as Matty B. And here's the rest of the week lineup. You got the final word across the board as usual. And then you have Flyers post-game shows, of course, on Tuesday, because it is Thanksgiving. So we have a little
Monday. It's Monday, buddy. Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday. But I'm saying it is Thanksgiving week, so a couple things are a little moved up. Props, locks, and parlays on Tuesdays. Pittsburgh Sports Desk will also be on Tuesday with the final word. Wednesday, the Birds Blast. We don't have the exact time for that yet, but it will be on Wednesday. Final word with Matty B and the Flyers postgame. And then we'll have a special Fightins Final 2025 in review. Mike, myself, and Matty B talking about the Phillies and looking forward to the 2026 season and what's going to happen in this crazy offseason, which hopefully we'll have some news starting next Sunday. Then the Eagles-Bears postgame show on Friday. Gridiron Weekly, Flyers versus Islanders postgame. Then we got two postgames for the last one. I think the last one for the Penn State Happy Valley Huddle right there, Mike.
Yeah, last one of the year.
And then you have your Flyers-Devils postgame. And then, of course, back to us Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Steel City pre- and postgame show and Matty B's final word. So if you have nothing to watch, that's on you now.
Yeah.
You
will see a whole lot of me this week. So I'm actually
here is your
clear the ice.
Host. So you got 2 Monday and Wednesday with Mikey. You got the Bolts. You got the Panthers, and then you got Matty B Friday and Saturday with the 2 New Jersey, New York teams, Islanders and Devils. So there is your lineup right there for you. So I hope everybody's enjoying that. Real quick, let's just talk about Flyers for a moment, and we'll swing back to the Eagles. Yeah. I just want to touch on them right now. Your Flyers are sitting at 11-6-3. But last night, I'm going to go back up because I believe Nooms had pretty much what I wanted to touch on. Let me go all the way to the top here. Here you go. 2 goals in 9 seconds took me back to flocky hockey when I was 9, just learning hockey, and 3 in 26 seconds took me back to the Quebec game where the Craven had 2 in like 29 seconds, 30 after Howie. So yeah, I mean,
I was loving it.
They put a spanking on. I mean, it was 4-0 or 4-1 by the end of the first period, and the Flyers just kept their foot on their brakes. The defense didn't let anything up when they could have. For every, it was a 6-3 victory. But it all came in the first. You had 1 from Cates, 2 from Forrester, Brink, Mitchkov, and who was the other one? I'm trying to remember. What's his name? Begins with a Z. I completely blanked out. Zegras. Yeah. Zegras had the other one.
But take a look. It's that line again. It's the Brink, Forrester, Cates line. Mm-hmm. Again, like that is the Flyers' main line right now. Like I don't know why. Like that would be my top line. Morning, Dave.
Oh, well, Dave, as a resident Dallas fan, Dave, don't go anywhere. We did talk a lot of Eagles, Dallas. We're going to get swing back to it. We just wanted to touch on the Flyers. There's really no Phillies news right now. Nothing new. They did tender some of the normal guys, but there's so many rumors out there. Until something happens, there's not much to talk about.
Other than Pittsburgh says they're going to be all in on Kyle Schwarber.
Listen, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. I think everybody says that. I mean, they won't pay their phenom pitch.
Yeah.
We might. Do you know what we have to do? I think maybe next week we need to get one of the Pittsburgh Sports Desk guys on here to see if they can talk about that. If something comes about that or doesn't come about or Kyle doesn't make a move, I think we need to get them on next week just for a 10-15 minute conversation to get their input on that. I would love to see if they even believe in that or should believe in that. But Mikey, what's going on, budty?
What's up, Mike?
Well, go Birds. Got his Kelly Green on in the picture. I can see that. But at 11-6-3, so far, have you enjoyed what you've seen from the Flyers this year, Mikey Lar?
Yes. I'm very happy from what I've seen. I think they can continue. I think they're trending in the right direction. What I'm liking is the defensive side of it. There hasn't been as many mental breakdowns on defense so far. And let's be real, they didn't do the Flyers any favors out the gate with their scheduling. You know what I mean? Like, you had the team that had the most low points last year with Winnipeg. You had Florida. You had, they played Florida twice within the first week, and they're the defending Cup champions. So, I mean, this Flyers team really got tested out the gate, and it was great to see them because there's two teams in hockey I can't stand, the Rangers and the Devils, and I was so happy to see them thump the Devils. Cannot stand the Devils.
And this is a big week for Flyers fans, especially. And unfortunately, usually you have a home Flyers game on Black Friday, but I guess because of the Eagles, that changed this year. But if you wanted to make a little trip up the old Turnpike, you could go still see them if you wanted to. But this is a big week. You got 4, as I just showed you in that graphic. You have the Bolts, you got the Panthers, you got the Devils, and you got the Islanders. All really.
Are the Islanders on Friday, or is that on Saturday?
That's
so they're playing back to back. That's back to back then, because you got they're playing Saturday too. So
yeah.
So all right. So they're up there. Okay. So yeah, he's Friday and Saturday. Oh wow. Well, gives me something to gear up for. I think they're on at the same time. The Flyers or the Eagles are on. Or did they move it? Did they move it to 12? Because I know when it first came out, I said, well, that's dumb, because when we were talking about the schedule, I said, that's dumb. I said, they got them playing on Black Friday when the Eagles are playing. I'm 4 o'clock, and the Eagles game's same time.
3. Yeah.
Well,
put the Thank God I got 3 TVs. You might have to come over, Mikey, and watch it with me.
There you go. We'll hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
Our buddy's going to get excited and feel left out at the same time.
That's why I did it. Shout out to Pat.
Yeah,
Love
Pat.
You, dude.
Miss you, buddy. Crazy how we have as many regulation wins as the lowest teams in the NHL, though. So odd, yeah. But they fight. I guess that's the one thing you could bring from that stat is they're scrappy. They're definitely a scrappy team. But I want to bring something up, and here I try not to give credence to too many things. I want everybody's opinion on this. And Mike, we talked about this when we were doing our show prepping off air, and the AJ Brown stuff. I'm going to give you a couple options here. Option A is that AJ Brown, he's a diva. We knew it coming into it. Wide receivers are diva, and we're used to dealing with this. I'm over it. Is it option B? There's where there's smoke, maybe there's a little fire. Or is it option C? Is AJ just shut up and play the damn game?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to look at it like this. When AJ got traded here, they gave him a contract extension. They paid him.
Got paid twice here.
Hold on. I know. Yeah. I finished that, right?
Yeah.
They go to a Super Bowl. They restructure his contract and pay him again.
Mm-hmm.
Give him more money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You win.
Yeah, they did that when they paid Devontae, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to appease him. But let's add that in there.
Right. So,
yeah.
Okay. So this organization's showing you that they appreciate you. Okay? Mm-hmm. You go win a Super Bowl. To me, I do believe where there's smoke, there is fire. I think him and James, I don't know about their off-the-field relationship. Their on-the-field relationship is kind of deteriorated a little bit. You could see it. I'm sorry, but there's, I think Jalen, got a little full of himself a little bit. I really do. And just certain way I see how he does his interviews after. Go back and look last year when they were hungry. You know what I mean? He was a little more. Now he's just like, I'm the man. I won. And the thing is, like, I like the fact that he turned around and said, listen, I'm not answering no questions about this. We're on to this opponent. We're on to that opponent. Don't ask me no questions unless it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys. I get that. But as far as the A.J. Brown thing goes, you just got to sit them in a room and you say, look, either y'all talk it out, here's some boxing gloves, box it out, but get it out your system. Like literally get it out your system, whatever it is, because there's something there. And, I can honestly believe if they were to go on and win, I'm saying that's a big if, because there are some dogs in the NFC. But if they were to go and win, I could definitely see them moving on from A.J. Brown.
I agree with you. In the offseason, it's not unreasonable and unlikely. They have a few reasons. Reason A is if this is a continuation of a problem. And big reason B is people didn't get paid.
Question though, I got a question for you though. Okay, would you now if they win another Super Bowl, right? Would you entertain trading Jalen Hurts?
No. What are you, LaShawn McCoy?
No. Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
I'm hearing you out. I'm listening to you. I'm not agreeing with you, but I'm listening.
I know. I'm doing a little devil's advocate here. You got Tanner McKee. Okay.
Okay. Are you a McKeister?
I love him. I
love him too, but I don't know if I'm ready to sell the farm on him. But keep going.
But here's the thing: he can actually Sirianni can run his type of offense. Like
that makes me feel much. That right there is the nail in the coffin. I mean, I'm agreeing with this situation, but keep going.
But if he wins and he wins a Super Bowl, okay, again, and is named MVP again, you can get a lot of draft capital. You can get a lot of draft capital for that.
Absolutely, they could get a lot. They could probably get a lot of draft cap for Josh Allen, even if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, or Joe Burrow, even though he hasn't played a full season in 2 years. But if you're going to win me back-to-back Super Bowls and you're going to talk about getting rid of him, are we?
No. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out, devil's advocate. I'm not saying. Yeah,
you're the guy in the contingency plan that has to throw out the weird, the one that everybody's not thinking or thinking about.
Right, exactly. Like
not saying out loud
you did see them move on from Carson Wentz, and they won a Super Bowl and moved on.
I know you missed Pat, but it can't be that bad. No, the answer absolutely in real life, IRL right now. I'm going to go bring us back into reality. No,
just throw it out there, man.
You win a Super Bowl for 2 years in a row. That means you win 3 Super Bowls with this guy. And what's he, 25, 26 years old? No, you don't. You don't get rid of him. I mean, they'd be like, oh, well, Tom Brady won a bunch of Super Bowls. Do you think we should trade him now and get some draft capital? Because we got some good guys behind him. No, you keep building around him. You keep doing what you've been doing, which has been, for the most part, pretty well. The off season for Howie wasn't the greatest, but he had to move on from a lot of key players. But he made up for it. Bro, you bring in a guy like Jalen Phillips, giving up one of the many third-round picks. I mean, what a move. What a move. But no, absolutely not. You just can't do that. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would think about it. I really would, because
you have AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts in the offseason after you win the Super Bowl.
No. I didn't say
that would be the most ballsy move of any GM
not both. Not both. Just one. You hear me out. AJ stays. Now you get a pocket passer in there, a guy who ain't going to take off, who's going to throw the ball. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So again, that kind of opens up. They have you'll have a quarterback getting under center, okay, a lot more than what Jalen does, and you can still hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. Now you can kiss the tush push goodbye, which will probably be banned next year anyway. So
it better not be, because I'll tell you right now, I got a grievance on that. We'll talk about it in a minute. But you know what? I'm saying it now. Forget it. Like, there's been a lot of tush pushing going on around this NFL. And one of the biggest proponents for it, might I add, has been just
every week.
Do you know what they should have done last year? You can vote against the tush push. We're not telling you not to. But if you choose to vote against it, you can't run it. And if it wins, you can't run it, because it's BS. That is BS. Watching it get ran by them. Green Bay even tried it, might I add.
Yeah.
They tried it.
All of them try it. Try it, but none of them could do it. Now, I will say this. Buffalo, who was besides Green Bay, was the most outspoken of it. Josh Allen runs it every week. Every week they run it. And now somebody ran the Philly special yesterday in college, if you didn't see that. That was pretty damn cool. So, Texas ran it.
Do you think KP is crafty enough to run the offense without AJ? I don't know anything about KP yet. I don't want to get rid of him right now. You can't. I mean, the offense has been not great. But I know people are like, just fire him now. But I think you just kind of have to run with what you have a little bit. I wouldn't mind if you brought in maybe somebody to – I don't want the Knights of the Round Table like the Eagles did like 10 years ago when they brought in like 9 different offensive ex-coordinators to help fix the offense. Miss Aveline saying fact. I don't know what he's talking about. Fact. What she's facting to if she wants to.
She's saying that about. She put that up when you were talking about the tush push.
Gotcha. It's okay. Everyone else can do it, but it's not us. Yeah, Adam, that's what it is. And I'm really starting to think. I used to think it was a little ridiculous that the media goes after Philadelphia on purpose to get clicks and likes, but we're gonna get into a certain Cam Newton in about 2 seconds.
Oh,
I usually look past that, but everybody knows my complete hatred for Cam Newton. And it started for him as a player too. So it's not just because he's speaking ill of the Eagles or Jalen Hurts or anything, because he's a phony, really good athlete, but it's like what listening to Tony Romo talk about going to the Super Bowl. What in the hell do you know about going to the Super Bowl, Tony Romo? I mean, at least Cam was there. I mean, he shit the bed, but he was there at one point. I don't think you can come up with a right language to ban it. Even if you ban it, it will see variations of it. It's not going away. I agree, Nooms. It is the most old school type of football play. You can run a tush push without pushing the tush. You just have to have the right personnel to do it. And that's one of the biggest things that the Eagles have done. Yet people still, of all the shit that people have tried to copy off Philadelphia over the years, the last thing they haven't done is get big athletic offensive linemen and put it together. I mean, ask Joe Burrow, ask the Chiefs when they haven't done it right. Like, they really haven't done it right. Like, what is wrong with you morons? It's not like they're hiding it. It's out there.
Yeah. I think I lit a fire under somebody by me saying I would trade Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know.
I'm not calling for him to be traded. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
That was like there was a psychological test or whatever, not a test, like when in sociology class and stuff. They had like they said how like the words can't hurt you, but they taught, like I said, if I came up to you and said I went up to a woman and said, listen, I don't believe anything I'm about to say, but I'm going to say the words and you can't see how you react to it. And they had them like hooked up to all these machines, like heart rate machines and all that. And they said something really derogatory towards women. And he goes, I don't mean it, but I'm saying it. But you can still see her heart rate still going up and everything. But it's just like showing like, yeah, no matter I know what you're doing, it's still going to light a fire under my butt.
Yeah, that's like me when I tell my wife she belongs in the kitchen. Now, granted, she makes better food than me. That's why I tell her. Yeah. But I say she belongs in the kitchen. She's ready to beat me with a flip flop.
Yeah, right. So, but so again, Cam, I'm not giving Cam any more than the fact is he's an idiot. All right, I got to throw it out there.
I love him.
He's a moron. Like the point is
so smart, smart.
Here's the thing: is trolls, right? Trolling is a really an art form, right? You got to be able to troll believably. He had the audacity to sit there and say that winning isn't everything.
Again,
spoken like a true loser. That is the loser thing I've ever losered. Okay, that is that here. Oh, hold on. Here we go. I got it. You're gonna make Miss Eveline unsubscribe. He was just playing devil's advocate. I swear, Miss Eveline. Don't do that. Don't run away from us just yet.
But I hear you with that, man.
He's
but
an
listen,
idiot, dude. He's a moron.
No, listen. Just look at the way he dresses. He dresses like some
Willy Wonka's bastard son. That's what he dresses like.
No, he looks like somebody's Asian, like mom, like grandmom, like I can't take him seriously, and he knows this. He knows that. He's smart because he knows the one fan base that will come for him will be the Eagles fan base. Because we're so protective of our teams. Listen, dude, Gilly comes at him every week, and he goes right back at Gilly. He goes right back at him. So, I mean...
Well, Dan Orlovsky got him pretty good this week with when he started saying Dak does more for his team than Jalen does, yet they have the same amount of touchdowns and less turnovers.
Yes, but... again, that's what makes television, right? Like
they know what they're doing. Yeah. They know what
they're doing. I mean, I think Cam's smart as a whip, dude. Like doing this. As a player, he was definitely a trendsetter. He was. He was the first guy that came out that was mobile, that could run, and he had power. Like he could throw the ball. Now he wasn't accurate, but he definitely wasn't. He knows what he's doing, and I sit back, I watch it. I watch every day. When I get home from work, first thing I'm watching is First Take or whatever one that he's on. I'll sit there and watch it.
It's like Howard Stern was. More people tune in to see what he was going to say versus liking what he had to say.
Right, exactly. And it's just, and he's great, man. Like he knows he's trolling Philly fans because we will come at him, and that's what they want. They want that feedback. It's like being a bad guy in wrestling. You know what I mean? People are going to boo you, but to you, those boos are cheers. Keep bringing it. Keep bringing it. And, so again, I see where Cam's coming from. I do see his side of it a little bit, but I mean, you can't sit back and say that winning is not the most important thing.
Well, it's because he's a loser. He didn't know how to win. He won one time. He had one good winning season. He got to the Super Bowl, S the bed, and ever since then fell apart. He has been always a me guy, not a team guy, not a win for the Panthers or win. He is a very good athlete. He is an okay quarterback. He is not a genius in every sense of the word. I don't think he had a great football IQ. But he dresses like his personality. Stupid.
He looks like somebody's grandma got away there.
Yeah, somebody should check my grandmother's wardrobe. I think he stole it. We're gonna get the score predictions in a second. Actually, let's do it right now. Let's talk right now. Mike Laro, since you seem to be on the side that this could be closer to a trap game than I do, what is your ultimate right now? You're locking it in with FanDuel or whatever you use at 10 a.m., 11/23/25, Eagles, Dallas. What do you got me?
I got Birds 27-21.
Okay.
27-21. I think they win a close one, but I think it's going to be under a touchdown. I think Dallas got to,
Dallas got a very good offense. They do.
I would be surprised though if they put up more than that.
I think you're going to see more from the running game. But I ultimately think they're going to fail in the red zone. I think they're going to keep them. They're going to bend, don't break type situation. They're going to bend to the red zone, keep them to field goals. I am going to go 28-15. Your Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. So Al is 28-15 Birds, and mine was 27-21. All right, there we go. So. Both Eagle wins. Al, I got some plays today I want to read off if that's okay there, sir, before we get out of here.
Absolutely. Real quick, Adam, I'm surprised Matty B didn't chime in yet. I did hear that
Adam sleep
from the coffin. I did hear that squeaking open. So maybe, the sun was out a little early for him today, so he had to sleep in a little bit. Cam has diapers to change in his daycare. Leave Philly alone. Birds 24-20. Miss Aveline's going 24-20. Isn't that exactly where it was last? That was the last game, right?
That was the last game.
The score of the last game. Yep.
These are my picks for NFL this week. I'm going to start off with the Monday Nighter. I took Carolina getting 6.5 at San Francisco. Brock Purdy, and Ayuk started coming back, but guess what? They took his signing bonus away. That'll be the next trade. Minnesota plus 6.5 over Green Bay. I'm taking them getting 6.5. I just think they keep it close. I think Pack win, but I think they cover this. Indiana getting 3 at Kansas City. I don't think they have an answer for Jonathan Taylor or Tyler Warren today in that game. I took Atlanta minus 1.5.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest game of the season for the Chiefs right there.
Yeah, and I
really think this is a win for Colts. No matter what.
I took Atlanta minus 1.5 at New Orleans. I just think they got the better football team, even though Kirk Cousins is going for them today.
They are 3-7 compared to their 2-8. So yeah, they are the better football team.
Yeah. I took Detroit minus 10.5 over the New York Giants. I don't think the Giants are even with the game. And that game's in Detroit. Detroit just got embarrassed last week by the Eagles. They're going to be looking to really kind of rip some people's heads off. And last but not least, I have the Los Angeles Rams minus 6.5 over those Tampa Bay Bucks. That's my score for that.
Our boy Robert Moser's having Eagles 35-24. So you've seen a
nice. No
I
way.
don't see the defense giving up more than 20-24. So I don't even think I'm giving them that much, to be honest with you. I really think it's.
I don't see the Eagles scoring 35 unless Dallas just has bad coverage.
Yeah.
I don't. There
was a question I had for you, and I'm going to answer it quickly. Not taking the Eagles out of the equation. There's only a handful of teams with 2 losses. One's not playing today, being the Broncos. But Broncos, Bengals. Who else?
No,
we have?
not Bengals. It's Broncos, Colts, Pats,
Patriots, Broncos, Pats, Rams,
and the Eagles. That's it. There are 5 teams left with only 2 losses.
So of all the non-Eagles, not talking Eagles right now, which ones do you fear more?
Well, I would say the Rams because they're in our conference.
Okay.
I would love another crack at the Broncos. So if we get another crack at the Broncos, that means we made it to the Super Bowl.
Well, you got to crack any of those teams because we don't play either one of those.
Yeah, we don't play. Well, that would be like if you get another crack at if they make it to the Super Bowl, they get a crack at the Broncos, right? Say the Broncos make it. That's cool. If it's the Colts that make it to the Super Bowl, now you have Nick Sirianni versus Shane Steichen.
Oh, Shane Steichen, that's right. That makes it
okay.
Good.
And then you have, Eagles,
Patriots.
No. Eagles, Patriots. The third, if the Pats make it, that's Super Bowl number 3 that we would face off against them, and it would give us the tiebreaker because we've each won one against.
And also don't forget you got 1, 2. Well, not really. I guess Daniel Jones isn't really a rookie quarterback, but you got guys inexperienced in the playoffs as well as the Super Bowl. That does bode well for the Eagles in a matchup.
I'll tell you what, though, I love Drake May from New England. That kid, and they got you want to talk about a 1-2 punch up there with Trayvon Henderson and Ramon Stevenson. They got a 1-2 punch up there. The only thing is they are really kind of short on the wide receiver end. Okay. Wide receiver end, they got Stephon Diggs and like Mac Hollins. It's like their main guys. But they got a couple little shifty wide receivers that are quick as a hiccup in there. And they also got my boy Hunter Henry at tight end. So, they got a nice little offense up there in New England. But I will say this. I am so happy because I think right, I believe, I think it's next week, isn't it? Where they play the Bills. Yes. The 15th of December, they host the Bills. Their next 3 games are at the Bengals today. Next week, they're home for the Giants, and then they're home for the Bills. So they got a pretty good schedule upcoming there, man. So,
for all kinds of purposes, they should be 11-2 by the time that game rolls around.
They beat the Bills again. They're going to wrap up I would like to see them beat the Bills and wrap up the division. So,
how funny would it be if the Bills and the Chiefs both don't make the playoffs?
I would love it.
I would
love it because then it's 2 famous.
It would feel like like early 2000s. You got the Broncos, you got the Pats. You got the Colts, all in the playoff.
I'm going to call this one right now. I think Pittsburgh gets supplanted by Baltimore. I think Baltimore will supplant Pittsburgh.
They're 5-5. They're playing the Jets today, so that they really ultimately should be 6-5 by the end. I mean,
right now, remember, dude, they were 1-4. They were 1-4 after their first 5 games.
Steelers are playing the Bears today, which is a hard test. So they, for all
I got the Bears beating them, dude. Got the Bears
6-5. They will both be 6-5 by the end of the game. They could definitely be 6-5 by the end of today.
Yeah. Oh, and while we're on, dude, let's give a little, a little look-see for week 13, I guess you could say, of the NFL season, because we have basically 4 games. 3 are going to be on Thanksgiving. Early game is Packers at Lions, which I feel is probably going to be a really good game.
I think that's going to be a great game.
Then you have Chiefs at Cowboys at 4:30, which I feel is also going to be a good game. Bengals at Ravens might be
Yeah, it's an 8:20 game, so that might be one where you don't stay up for it. You know what I mean?
You be comatose from the turkey.
The turkey, what was that? What's the tryptophan? Will kick in and start taking some sleepy times.
Yep, and
that game might be a turkey, if you know what I mean. Might be round 2 of the turkey.
Yep, and then you got the Eagles-Bears on Friday, which I feel is also going to be a good game. All right, Al, you ready to get out of here?
Real quick, Adam had a quick question.
Oh, what's on the menu? I got lunch meat, dude. I'm doing lunch meat sandwiches today.
Oh man, that sounds delicious. If you ask my wife, I am a sandwich hoe for show. Yeah. But yeah, I have to honestly, to be honest with you, Adam, I've been worrying about that Turkey Day menu more than anything. And I'm gonna tell you something, Mikey. I'm smoking the turkey. Yeah. That turkey. I actually literally I bought they sell a holiday pellet brand. Is it pellets for the smoker? It's a holiday mixture, like these different flavors they mix together just for holiday turkeys. I'm already getting ready to brine this thing for next Thursday. It's slowly defrosting in my fridge. I'm letting it come in. I'm doing like a slow defrost and typical defrost. And then we're going to brine that bitch for about 3 days straight. Then I'm going to take it out, pat it down. I'm going to load it up with a bunch of butter and poultry.
Will you stop? Because now you got Pat ready to run through the screen.
I know. Hands above the counter there, Pally. Hey, Mike, Burrow might be back for them.
Yeah, he was
okay. All right.
He was supposed to come back this week. They held him off one more week, so he might be starting that game Thursday night.
Absolutely. And Rob, great show. Rob. Thanks for checking. Rob's one of those great human beings. All you guys are great. And everybody, I hope you have liked, subscribed. If you haven't, if you're on YouTube, please do so, especially Facebook, Twitter. We're on live as well. We're adding some other stuff in going on. Thank you. Go Birds. Absolutely. Please stay tuned. You'll have the post game with Mike. I might even try to see if I can jump on if time allows it to talk to you again, because you guys haven't had enough of me and Mike yet today.
That's all right. It's only an hour, so we'll be back on.
We are the smoked turkey of Philly sports.
Yes, we are.
We're delicious. But other than that, he's Mike Lauro.
Hold up, wait a minute, because I'm probably not going to see many of you guys if I don't have a happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. So.
Yeah, we'll wish you a happy little Thanksgiving, I think, because you'll see us. You'll see us on Thursday. We won't be live.
We won't be live, but
you'll have us on Thursday as we talk a little Phillies baseball, looking at 2025, looking towards 2026, plus all the other stuff lined up here. Rob, anytime, buddy. Dave, have the boys winning 31-17. I know, big shocker. Hey, Dave, listen, Dave, the one thing I'll never take away from you is your fandom, okay? You love that team. I will never take it away from you. That is your team. I give you credit because I've seen a lot of Cowboys fans. I have a couple guys I've known, like I saw them wearing Eagles jerseys not too long ago who are Cowboys fans for as long as I knew them. Jumping ship pretty bad. So I'll give you finger red #1, go Birds. I guess that's like there was an emoji there. And good times. All right. Thanks, Ms. Evelyn. We hope to see you next time. Other than that, guys, he's Mike. I'm Big Al. We'll see you all next time.